Lawrence Shankland and Bojan Miovski are without doubt two of the best strikers in Scotland, and you could really make a case for those two to be top of the list. In fact, in this past season, Lawrence Shankland was named the PFA Scotland Player of the Year, and of course was named in the PFA Scotland Team of the Year alongside Bojan Miovski, who scored 25 goals in all competitions this season in a rather poor Aberdeen side and has been attracting interest from elsewhere. Therefore, it's been a real topic of debate between who is better out of Lawrence Shankland and Bojan Miovski, so I'm going to see what Football Manager thinks. But not just with each player at their respective clubs. I'm going to swap them over, and also with each of the players at the two best Premier League clubs. Bojan Miovski at Arsenal, for example, in this save, and Lawrence Shankland at Man City, then vice versa. We will start off normally, however, to begin with. Now, my personal preference in this debate is obviously Bojan Miovski. I'm an Aberdeen fan, however, we can't argue with the season Shankland's had and the awards he's picked up. Hearts finished 3rd, Aberdeen finished only 7th. I think he's been the better player this season, however, Bojan Miovski, younger, ultimately will go on to have a better career, probably in one of the top 5 leagues in Europe. In the bog standard boring simulation though, Lawrence Shankland scored 11 goals and got 5 assists for Hearts in 32 league appearances, 15 goals in 39 appearances in all competitions. His contributions though only saw Hearts finish 6th, whilst clearly Aberdeen finished in 3rd place as they did prior to this season just gone. I'm trying not to talk about this real life season just gone because it was miserable. However, Hearts did not do fantastic in cup competitions, knocked out in the quarter-final by Queen's Park, that's Scottish Championship Queen's Park, Scottish Championship Ayr United in the Viaplay Cup 2nd round, and in the Conference League, 4th qualifying round by Hajduk Split of Croatia. Meanwhile, Bojan Miovski only scored 10 goals in the league this season, no assists in 35 appearances, however, did score 17 goals in 46 appearances in all competitions in total, and of course Aberdeen had the better season, finishing in 3rd in the league once again. They were knocked out in the group stage of the Conference League, meaning they didn't get through to the group stage of the Europa League, obviously, and, well, they also had a terrible domestic cup competition season, much worse than this season. That's at least one plus for us. Knocked out in the 5th round by Inverness Caledonian Thistle, you know how bad they are, and in the quarter-final by Wraith Rovers in the Viaplay Cup, a competition we have history with them in. Slightly less embarrassing than the Inverness result, I suppose. But what happens when we flip the switch and put Bojan Miovski to Hearts and take Lawrence Shankland back to Aberdeen, a team he once played for, and, well, he didn't really get much of a chance, but he wasn't very good. At Aberdeen, though, Lawrence Shankland fared a little bit better on a personal front. He did play more games with European group stage football, of course, however, 20 goals in a total of 51 appearances, with 16 of those coming in the league. However, though, he finished 6th once again, perennial 6th place loser. What had it taken to be a perennial 6th place loser this season as an Aberdeen fan? Bojan Miovski continues, finishing 3rd, however, so he's winning on a team front. Not sure about the personal level as of yet, though. We will work it out on a goals per game ratio across all of the simulations to find out the winner. Lawrence Shankland, though, finishing as the 3rd or joint 2nd top goal scorer in the Cinch Premiership. They made it to the group stages this time in the Europa League, however were knocked out there, and in the semi-final stages of the Scottish Cup by Celtic, as was real life, and the quarter-final by Ross County in the Viaplay Cup. Meanwhile, my beloved Bojan, 14 goals in the league this season in 33 appearances, and in 39 appearances in all competitions this season, just the 15. With Hearts getting knocked out in the league path, 3rd qualifying round by Football Club FS, I think it's Steaua Bucharest, just to save the bother, and at the Scottish Cup stage by Rangers in the semi-final and Celtic in the Viaplay Cup semi-final. But now, here's where it gets really interesting. I've plugged both tactics in for Pep and Mikel Arteta at their respective clubs with the simulation for both players. And this will be interesting. I don't know how I expect them to get on being Cinch Premiership level players. Obviously I expect Bojan Miovski to kick on and do better than this league. But right now, would he be ready? It'll be interesting to see how many goals Lawrence Shankland would score in the Premier League, according to Football Manager 2. Here is the tactic we plugged in with Arsenal. I downloaded it. I couldn't be bothered creating it. I'll put the link in the description somewhere for you to find it if you do want to use it yourself. It featured Bojan Miovski as a complete forward, and as a complete forward at Arsenal, he did okay for his first season ever in the Premier League. He scored 14 goals in 59 appearances. That isn't excellent. I don't know how that'll compare with Lawrence Shankland, but he did get 5 assists as well. And in addition to that, Arsenal did really well. Not in the league, admittedly, but they won the bloody Champions League. They were runners-up in the FA Cup and the English Community Shield. They finished 6th, but they qualified for Europe. They beat Real Madrid 1-0 in the Champions League final, becoming the first team to do so since Aberdeen beat them in a European Cup final. Yeah, I had to mention it. I'm sorry, I really did. But did he score the winning goal? Oh my god, he bloody well did. Let's enjoy this, shall we? It was Gabriel Jesus on the ball on the right-hand side for Arsenal. Him and Ferland Mendy in a little bit of a tussle with 64 minutes on the clock. Havertz went down and Bojan Miovski finished well with his right foot past Belgian international goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois. What a result. Meanwhile, here was the Manchester City tactic. Lawrence Shankland featuring as an advanced forward. And I can see that he scored 16 goals. I don't think you could see it. He scored 16 goals in all competitions, 49 appearances. So that's better goals per game, but team accolades perhaps could be better. 10 goals in 35 appearances in the league with 4 assists. Manchester City, as they tend to blink and do, they won the league. They won the league by 5 points over Liverpool. Arsenal did not have a good season whatsoever comparative to real life. They finished runners-up in the Super Cup, however. They didn't do well in the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. Early-ish exits for them. In fact, very early exits for them. Knocked out in the round of 16 of the Champions League by eventual finalists and losers, Real Madrid. However, they won the Community Shield, so good for them. Erling Haaland, though, did score 21 goals off the bench. How many games did he start? 5, with Lawrence Shankland being injured in those, you would imagine. So, yeah, he showed him up a little bit. But hey, who's going to the Euros? It's not Erling Haaland out of those two anyway. And the final simulation, Lawrence Shankland at Arsenal. 14 goals in 50 appearances in all competitions. 12 goals in the league, 1 assist, and actually 2 player of the matches, so congratulations to El Shank for that. However, Arsenal once again finished 6th in the Premier League. Manchester City and Bojan Miovski finished 3rd, slightly better off. However, did Arsenal win the Champions League in this simulation? I mean, I doubt it, I really do, but they won the Community Shield, so at least there's that. There's not as many accolades in this one, perhaps. A semi-final knockout by RB Leipzig also hurts. They could have been in the final. They are knocked out in the 3rd round of the FA Cup by Tottenham. Terrible. 3rd round of the Carabao Cup by Hull City. I was that shocked there, I forgot how to speak and make words. Oh, actually, and this season was that bad for Lawrence Shankland and Arsenal that Calum Wright of Arsenal got sacked, and obviously they're insecure. Calum Wright, Man City. Didn't go too well, did it? But well, it did go for Bojan Miovski at Man City. 33 appearances in the Premier League, 16 goals, 2 player of the matches to boot, and a total of 26 goals in 54 appearances for Man City, which I think might actually edge this for him in this simulation when it comes to the goals per game ratio. I know people have won accolades in this, but that's what we're going to base the true winner off. If it's Lawrence Shankland, however, my reasoning will change. Manchester City, though, with Bojan Miovski, as we already know, finished 3rd in the Premier League, but how else did they do in other competitions? They were runner-up in the Champions League final. It could have been 2 Bojan Miovski Champions League medals, so they must have lost to RB Leipzig. How badly did they do there? No wonder the job's insecure. They lost 3-2. And Bojan Miovski, I mean, that's 3 great strikers there, Bojan Miovski, Sesko and Haaland. But he scored in the final, he scored in 2 Champions League finals. They won the Super Cup. They didn't win the FA Cup, knocked out in the semi-final by Cole Palmer's Chelsea. They didn't win the Community Shield, we know that. They lost that to Arsenal. and they were knocked out in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup by Manchester United. Not Manchester United, Manchester UFC, not Manchester United. The total goals and appearances have been calculated, and I can reveal that with a total of 0.3636 goals per game after 72 goals in 198 appearances, Bojan Miovski is a better striker according to Football Manager. Lawrence Shankland was very close, however. In 189 appearances, Shankland scored 65 goals, meaning he had a .3439 goals per game ratio, which is very, very close, and honestly quite impressive from the both of them. Bojan Miovski obviously I think did better on a team front, really, I think as well. It might have been to do with the tactics, I'm not sure. However, Bojan Miovski, clearly the better player. Shove your PFA, I'm so heated. PFA Scotland Player of the Year award. You Reds, if you want to see another video like this where I compare two players, then please do let me know in the comments down below. Plenty Euros content coming in the near future too. Don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you very, very soon. That's a promise, okay?